The tail of the tape for this welterweight tilt.
Voelker, basically 5 years older. They're both huge guys, though, for a 170-pound class. Devela is 2 inches taller. The weight really doesn't matter here because they both walk around about 205 pounds, 1 inch reach advantage for Devela. He's going to use that for leverage on the ground if he, gets this fight where he wants it.
Welterweights in the cage. They're ready to go 3 5-minute rounds with the referee in charge, Ryan Hoisington.
Red corner, are you ready? Blue corner, are you ready? Let's fight!
Devela in round 1. Voelker has twice as many fights as Devela and immediately goes for the body lock on the hometown favorite as they continue to wrestle for control along the fence. Vicious Bobby Voelker has a self-described boring life, working 50 hours a week as a subcontractor, training on his lunch break and after work.
That's not a boring life.
That's what he calls it. He would like to fight full-time, and given the opportunities here on Challengers, with the wins come the bigger dollars, the bigger sponsorship, and of course the opportunity to fight on the bigger shows. He's never lost back-to-back fights in his career and wants to avoid that calamity here tonight. But Devela also looking to snap a 2-fight losing streak and hoping for a renewed existence at 170 pounds.
And if Voelker wants to win this fight, he needs to keep his back off the cage. He's got a wrestler on him, putting his back against the cage. You've got to stay off the cage when a wrestler's after you. Devela's got the double underhooks. Here he is with the trip. Straight into the mount. Not a good thing for Voelker.
And has the hooks there for a moment. Controlling his posture is Voelker. Now Devela almost looking to maybe position himself for a topside triangle there, but now just posturing and raining down the strikes. Voelker needs to explode his hips like he's attempting to do.
Real high mount here. Thinking about the arm bar, I'm betting he's going to snatch that arm because he's curling that leg up.
Well, the thing is, the hips become irrelevant underneath. When you ride that high up, the hips are no longer of service to Voelker. So he needs to push down on Devela's legs, get him over his hips, and then start bumping.
Winging away, unfortunately, Voelker isn't close enough to use the fence with his feet to spin around and get some leverage.
Got the choke. Can he get the hooks in?
This would be unique to get choked down from that position, but nothing doing it.
Voelker has only lost once via submission. That came back in July of 2007.
I find it interesting that Voelker at the beginning of this fight basically leapt into the clinch, trying to land that bomb.
Voelker needs to circle off the cage. Here he is again. Not a good place. Not a good place. Devela trying to pull the leg out to support the post and tip him over that. Not successful yet.
Devela now, tie clinch, knee, and immediately Voelker clinches up again. Takedown by Devela, half guard. And he's controlling the first round thus far. Less than 2 minutes remaining in the opening stanza, cross-facing Voelker.
Horrible place for Voelker to be, half guard here with Devela off to this side looking for an arm triangle. But Voelker can't move his hips to the left to get him back in guard.
Voelker not even trying to get guard now that he's away from the fence.
Devela doing a good job, though, again, of just controlling the positioning and the weight. Has the crossface, wants to posture, and wants to punish Bobby Voelker, who has found himself in a precarious position throughout this opening round. Somewhere where he does not want to be is his back. And there's a right hand from Devela.
And Voelker going for a guillotine joke there moments ago. You can't do that when the guy's in your half guard. It doesn't make any sense unless it's on the other side of your body.
Devela doing a really good job of distributing his weight and positioning. Now wants to sneak that right leg out of the guard.
Dangerous position. If he gets the mount here with the guillotine, this is going to get real tight.
And there now Devela has the guillotine choke on Voelker.
Again, but it's useless because half of Voelker's neck is protected by Devela's body.
This could be a problem for Devela. If Voelker can stay on top, he can start unloading some leather.
Right leg, right hand on his right elbow, on his left knee.
Voelker working from Devela's guard. Final 10 seconds of the opening 5-minute round. You're watching welterweights in action.
Break clean.
Listen, father out. He's clinching you like that. When you're separating at the hips, pop out here more. Don't start doing this. Don't go to your side. He's looking for that.
Devela doing a good job of keeping the pressure on. He's got the mount. Spent a lot of time there. Voelker getting a little desperate, wanting to get out of there from the frying pan into the fire, so to speak. Devela almost locking up the chokes. Needed to get the hooks in there. Here's Devela here in half guard, trying to transition the mount. Got a little high. Voelker did a good job of rolling it. As I said earlier, the guillotine choke from half guard there with the head on that side of your body is useless. They're next protected by your body.
Blue, are you ready? Let's go.
Second round is underway. Vicious Bobby, Voelker in the blue gloves. Cory, the one Devela in the red gloves. And Voelker comes storming out. They collide. And again in the clinch, Devela pushes Voelker back to the cage, looking to take the fight back to the ground where he is most comfortable. 6 of his 9 wins via submission. Both fighters again looking to get back on the winning track.
Locking the hands. He's going up for a ride, baby.
Voelker defending the takedown well.
Voelker unleashed a left roundhouse kick before getting up to the fence, and it smacked pretty hard. He's got to do more of that once he gets back to his feet because he can't lay on his back and win this fight.
Great execution there by Devela to find himself back in Voelker's half guard, showing his flexibility. But a nice sweep by Voelker.
Good job of powering through that. Walking the legs up. You don't ever want to let your opponent do that and get angles like Devela's trying to do.
Only 3 of Voelker's 21 wins have come via submission. The advantage definitely with Devela in that department, and that is why he feels comfortable from this position, using the open guard. Foot on the hips. Voelker trying to create position, and now transitioning, going perhaps for the armbar is Devela. Voelker trying to punch his way out. Has to be careful here.
He's flying it so far, he keeps his elbow onto there. He did a good job. But Voelker's, he really needs to posture up here. The more you lay down on a guy, the more the guy can walk his legs up on you and start getting angles and working for those arm bars and chokes.
But Bobby Voelker wisely is starting to walk the entire affair up to the fence to see if he can trap Devela's head up against that thing and start throwing some leather. But it's a double-edged sword because Devela can use the fence as well.
Voelker with the wide base. In the guard, still posturing up and slashes that right hand down.
Also, you notice Devela's doing a good job of grapevining Voelker's legs. If you want a guy to stop that, you sit down on your heels so there's no gap in between your hamstring and your calves, and they can't fit their foot in there to do that to you.
That would entail posture.
Posture, exactly.
Sneaking over, thinking about that Kimura. Devela holding him close, too.
Butterfly guard by Devela. Possibly could attempt the elevator sweep here, but now Voelker getting up on money there. There's the attempt at it. Voelker positions himself now, looks for the guillotine. Perspiration playing a part here. Second round. Devela easily popped his head out of that.
Yeah, did a good job of keeping position. It was awful tough for Voelker to get in and going. And Voelker blocked the other arm from coming through.
Voelker staying on top but not able to do much damage in this position because of the active guard from the bottom by Devela.
Yeah, Devela does a really good job of controlling his posture. Very active guard, as you mentioned, Stephen, with his legs going, walking up Voelker's body. Remaining very busy is Devela, wanting to maybe use that fence as well to climb up, but now Voelker.
It's very crafty four-way dexterity for Devela because each foot, each leg is working almost independent of each other, and Voelker has to concentrate on one thing or another, and he basically can't drop bombs as a result.
Yeah, I mean, when you're that good at that stuff, Devela's doing such a good job at it. He's pushing with one foot, pulling with another, using his arms. It's like four people pulling on each limb.
Right.
But the judges, how would they be scoring this? Even though Devela very active, Voelker landing some strikes, but
not many though.
Not a lot, and that's exactly it. And you wonder because it's Devela who's remaining active and wanting to go for the submissions. Even here, looking for the leg.
Devela is the aggressor here.
He's really hunting the leg. You can see how hard Voelker's working to get his leg back. I tell you what,
going for the knee bar, and Voelker spins away, but Devela getting cross-faced again here by Voelker. Devela persevering back up on his feet, much to the delight of the partisan crowd here at the Comcast Center in Everett, Washington.
Well, it was an interesting
mouthpiece is falling out there.
It was an interesting choice.
Picks it up and puts it back in.
While he's getting hit.
Right. It was an interesting choice for Voelker.
Voelker gets rocked by the right hand, right at the bell.
Red corner, make sure red corner.
I'd be very interested to see how the judges adjudicate that round, Pat, because Devela was the aggressor from the bottom and landed the most punishing shot.
I'm going to give Devela the round. In my mind, he definitely stayed busier, even though he was on the bottom.
Do you think the judges will give him the round?
I would think so. I would think so.
Okay, here we go into the education of judges. Pat, you know that certain judges don't understand the intricacies of bottom control and bottom jiu-jitsu. Devela was the more aggressive fighter from the bottom, so he definitely won the round.
And the criteria has to be very specific. Matt Hume and you had a good conversation about that.
Right.
Matt Hume, of course, from AMC Pankration, a well-respected judge back in the legendary Pride Fighting Championships organization, and now with Dream in Japan. And
rule director.
Rule director, exactly. Something has to be done, and we'll see what happens here as the third and final round begins. Devela pins Voelker along the cage.
And here we are. This is every time Voelker gets himself in trouble. He needs to get off the cage and stay off the cage.
I would have to say that Voelker needs a finish here because he's behind 2 rounds. But then again, the judges don't know, because if they don't understand jiu-jitsu or a guard game, then they're going to think the guy on top won the round.
The great unknown in mixed martial arts, the judges.
I've been one.
And that's why the mantra is never leave it in the hands of the judges, and let's see if we see a little more aggression and a little more desperation out of Bobby Voelker. Devela doing a good job to thwart any kind of offense right now along the fence. Short right hand.
Devela doesn't mind if Voelker gets body locked. He's got enough confidence.
Devela looks for the shot sprawl by Voelker. I thought Devela was actually going to engage Voelker there in a striking affair. That would have been something. And now Voelker knee right to the jaw.
Devela has to be very careful here because he expended a lot of energy, and he will be susceptible to getting caught if they get distance in the standing war.
Voelker was doing better in the fight because he got his back off the cage. Here he is again. He needs to get off the cage. Circle.
We told you that Voelker's only lost once via submission. Devela's lost 3 times via submission. The last one was against the aforementioned Luke Rockhold via rear naked choke.